goes through. There's a fair bit of sort of a gap there, but all the sprinters are looking around at each other, seeing who's going to make the move. Duncan Allen sitting right on Bryson Fletcher's wheel, so we'll see how that goes. Then we've got Choi sitting just back a little bit further. Then Mullins. Chris Mullins sitting in there as well. Some of these riders had some reasonable sort of times in the 200s. Okay, riders starting to crank it up a bit now. Fletcher's decided he's going to get out of the saddle as they come in to get the bell. He'll take off. Allen's going to chase him down. Rayner's going to jump in there as well. Choi's getting out and having a go. Mitchell Louis trying to stay with him. Duncan Allen wobbled around the track there a little bit just to fend off Choi. Bryson Fletcher's holding on at the front. Oh, okay, go pick that. Duncan Allen, Bryson Fletcher and Teo Choi. You've got to watch out in these derbies. You've got to watch with that many riders. You've got to watch front and back and listen. Just always make sure you listen so as you can hear anything that's happening behind you. Oh yeah, I remember him. Another four-lapper coming up now. Four-lap derby. Half the field from Bundaberg. Integration Punch in there from Byron Bay. Quite often see his name in our programs up here. Okay, the riders go through then. Matilda Pratt swings up. A few of our young junior girls in here. Michael Templeton sitting quite happy there at the front, rolling around, as I said. I'll come in this time to get the bell to see how they go. Integration Punch, he's taken a flyer off the back. Templeton sitting there in second place at the moment. A couple of riders going to fight it out here for third position. They've pretty well got it sorted out now. That'll come over like that. It'll be Punch taking it out, with Michael Templeton second and Taemin Choi taking third place. I might have a sushi. I think I have one in here. Okay, moving on to event 7 now, which is another 4-lap scratch race. This should get pretty exciting as well. Mr. Tony Torre, our starter over there, giving the riders the final instructions on what they shouldn't be doing. Looks like Chris Lang leading them away. Ella Liang sitting down on his wheel. Nice spot, followed through by Peter Macris. And Ben Clayton. And then I still have to find out who number 57 is, but it's not Jared O'Connell. Molly McGill in there having a bit of a look around, see what's going on. Ella now sitting on the front, just watching over the shoulder to see what's happened. Macris not making a move just yet. Clayton still sitting in there. Ella swings up. Peter Macris sits at the front. Corey Boddington out there having a ride in this one. Ella's gone back to the front again. The boys just cruising along. Now here we go. Chris Lang's going to give a bit of a hit out from the back. He's going to take a flyer as he comes through to get the bell. And let's see if the other boys can wind their big gears up. Ella jumped up pretty quick, but she's got the smaller gear. So Boddington up around the outside. Not going anywhere. He had a bit of a look. But Lang's going to take that one out. Very close for second there between 57 and Molly McGill coming in. Yeah, hey Louise, how you going? Who's Yeah, I know, I can see. Who's wearing saddlecloth 57? Who's wearing saddlecloth 57? It is Glenn, is it? Okay, thank you. Thanks. I thought it was. Glenn Searle. Oh, okay. Okay, now Louise has just cleared that up for me. Saddlecloth 57 is Glenn Searle. I thought it was him riding around, I just couldn't quite tell from this angle. I thought it was. Riders being led around this time by Victoria Smith. She's happy to sit there. George Tucker just sitting on the wheel, waiting to see what happens. Scott Slade decided he's going to go around and pick the pace up a little bit. Victoria's going to go with him. And Scott Slade's got the bigger gear on the junior riders, and he's taking a bit of a flyer. William Holzberg is going to go and do the chase. Tucker's run out of spinning. They come through to get the bell this time. Scott Slade leads them through. William Holzberg is trying to chase him down. Victoria Smith's holding on to third for a couple of moments. Sebastian Topping goes around them. They'll come in this time as they go up to the line. You'll have Scott Slade will take that out, William Holzberger next, and then followed through by Sebastian Topping. Bit spicy. Good. Sweet chilies. numbers, you often hear the older riders, like me I suppose, refer to them as saddle cloths. Because years ago, they were shaped like, when you looked at them from they just had two numbers on it, and that had a number on it. And you used to sit down around, so you had a number on each side and one in the middle of your man. Hot as hell. Okay, we're on the start on now of our 12-lap tempo race. Led through there by Harry Schoff. Bit of pace being put on there by Henry Goodwill. Looks like Banks Watson sitting in there. Toby Jones has made a little bit of a gap out there. Let's see how he goes at... he does this quite often, so let's see how he goes at holding that gap. Still staying about the same. No one's really... Okay, so there goes the bell. So let's see if anyone tries to chase him down now. Ethan Lang, well, he was on the front, but he swung up pretty quickly. Jones is still holding out now. He'll take the point on this one. He's followed through by Bernard Swats. Where's Robbie Reed? Is there a 72 out there? No. Okay, all the riders are pretty well strung out now down the back straight. The pace is being put on. Noel Blennon swings up. Drops down to the back. He got 5 riders away. The rest of the field is in disarray. Looks like Jarlath Whittaker sitting there on the front now. Have a quick look over his shoulder. Swings up. And surprise, surprise. Nick Bank Watson's taken off from the front. Very strong rider, Nick. He rides on Tuesday nights, and once he gets that engine wound up, he'll just keep it going. Noel Blennon trying to get across that gap. The other riders don't seem that interested in playing. So Watson's got the lead now. He's followed through by Blennon. Harry Schoff's going to give it a bit of a go. No. Heads down. That's enough. So Blennon's got Watson and taken to the front. So the field all over the place around here. So that sprint will be taken out by Noah Blennon, almost lapping the field, and then Banks Watson next over the line, followed through there by Harry Schoff. That's only because of the low temperature, though. That one might? Yeah, I know, but I think... Why is that?
Because you want to mix and match. It's got to be even, so you must have the seafood on top.
What others are there?
Chicken. There's 2 more. One's a seafood, and I think the other one's a chicken one too.
One of those is yours, isn't it?
Yeah, I think it should be good.
You sure? Moving now onto event 10. Reasonable field of riders over here. Another 12-lap scratch race, or tempo race, sorry. You said Madison's not here, didn't you?
Yeah, she did ride that first try. I know he only ate two, and I was only got three because she gave him an extra one. She got three each.
The riders roll their way around now. Thomas Loadsman's just sitting at the front. Next rider's not in the program. Is it number 5? No, Parslow. Loadsman still sitting on the front, quite happy just to roll along. Nothing exciting happening at the moment. They come through to get the bell. He's still there. Kyle Willis sitting up on the outside. He's having a bit of a look. I think he's wants to play the game. Nerve Parslow sitting there on second wheel. No, they'll go through there now, and yes, Loadsman will take that one out. Well, a bit of a gap happened there now when Nerve Parslow swung up, but it's quickly bridged. Loadsman still sitting on the front. He gets there over the line. Kyle Willis had a bit of a look, but didn't make it, so you've still got three riders sitting at the front. CJ Dorburn there itching to get out. He'll want to get in there to get some points as soon as he can. Matthew Wynn sitting in there, not quite able to do anything. Now you see Dorburn moving up on the outside now. He'll want to hit the front and hit it hard and try and gap these riders. He does just that, and he keeps going. Eliza Carnes is coming out of the bunch now. She wants to get up there amongst it all. Dorburn still holding him at this point. He comes in and gets a call of 3 to go this time around. Kyle Willis still... No, he's back. He's steadied off now. Eliza Carnes is going to get to his wheel, but there's a group of them there now. Dorburn still holding on to the front. Carnes swings up. Hands the reins over to Matthew Wynn. Wynn swings up. Nerve Parslow also swinging up. Loadsman back at the front again. It's the battle lap now with Doraburn's legs are dying, but I think he has enough of a gap to hold it. Kyle Willis had a bit of a dig to try and bridge that gap. Nerve Parslow now going around the outside of Willis. Eliza Carnes in there as well. Dorabun has a quick look to make sure he's got the gap. Oh, that was Emile Sanders. Sorry. She come through to take out second place. So that was a very good ride. So Dorabun managed to hold on long enough to take it out. That was that one, wasn't it? Moving on now to event number 11, another one of our 12-lap tempo races. What do I call her? No, it's me. She was in that one. Oh, wait a minute. We'll see what happens. Yeah, event 12, Carmen Robbins is over there. Oh, there we go, a little bit of a fall. The rider's travelling around slowly, probably not concentrating on what's happening, or the rider moves, touch your wheels at that speed and you'll just slip straight down. Can't see any blood, so it's not too bad. First aid racing to the scene. I had to line up on a post to make sure he's moving. Now Sharon McQuiggan just sitting on the front there, rolling around, just wait until they get the all clear. They haven't had a start yet. Let's see if these two riders are going to get back in. Gate behind you. So say the riders have received the whistle. Gratian Punch is riding at the front of the bunch. Sharon McQuiggan's just sitting in there. Godfrey's sitting on her wheel ride, is starting to move up a little bit now. Ava Carmen Robbins working her way through the middle of the bunch. Punch still sitting in there at the front. Andrew Pratt now watching the wheel. Wayne Godfrey still sitting there in third place. Everybody's having a bit of a look around to see what's happening. April Paddy sitting there. Isabel Potts in a good position as well at the moment. All there in that front group. Sharon McGuigan starting to make her way back along through the bottom of the riders there. Come through there now. Punch still sitting at the front. Crossman working up around the outside, trying to get closer to the front as they get nearer to the bell. Punch still sitting at the front. Now there goes the bell. Gratian Punch is still sitting at the front. Pratt sitting behind him, and then Wayne Godfrey up a little bit higher. Crossman right on the outside. Punch has been quickly overtaken by a group of riders. Pratt's going to go through for this one. Godfrey's just back off his wheel and then followed through by Crossman. Sharon McGuigan quickly bridging that gap to get across to those riders. Godfrey coming around the outside now to try to get the better of Pratt. Didn't quite do that. Steve Mayman getting in amongst the business end of it now. He's going to hit the front. And he'll take it from there. The other riders aren't even bothering to chase him. He'll come in this time and get the call of 5 to go. Still a fair way left to travel. If these riders want to bring that back, they'll have to sacrifice a little and try and work together. Pratt pulls up. Godfrey goes through to the front, followed through then by Crossman. Sharon McGuigan in there as well. They're starting to work a little bit now to try and bridge that gap. I don't know they're going to do it in the time remaining. Get the call of 3 to go this time through. Steve Mayman still sitting right on the front, right out in front. Godfrey will lead the chase bunch through this time. Although they don't look as though they're chasing much. Sharon McGuigan said, I've had enough of this, I'll have a go at it myself. So she's taking off. Crossman's trying to go as well. Then comes Pratt round the outside. McGuigan quickly swings up, hands it over to Crossman. Not much happening there. They get the call of... That's the bell for Mayman. Crossman leading the remainder group through with McGuigan sitting on the wheel. See if anyone's got any legs to have a bit of a dig here. Pratt's trying to have a go around the outside now. All the points are taken out by Mayman. So there we go. Oh, yes. Crossman, then Pratt. For the juniors, they're having a good little sprint to see them coming through there like that. There was Josh Franks having a bit of a hit out. Now we'll move to the first lot of our sprint rounds. Some of these are going to get interesting, to say the least. Who did I say that was? Glenn Searle. Now here we go, the first of our sprint rounds. Mitchell Louis just leading them out, having a bit of a look over his shoulder. Teo Choi in the middle and Molly McGill sitting at the back. Mitchell Louis opting to just roll around the bottom of the track. Comes through to get the call of 2 to go this time. Molly McGill working her way up to get a bit of height. So it's going to be a drag race. I'll come in to get the bell this time around. There they go through. Mitchell Louis is taking off. Teo Choi is out after him with Molly McGill following the wheel directly through. Teo Choi has now hit the front. McGill's coming around the outside of Louis. See if she can hold on to take that as she comes through the transition. So Tao Choi will take that out, Molly McGill and Mitchell Louis down on the bottom of the track. Yes, so it ended up being a drag race, and it went well for Tao Choi. Next riders coming up onto the track will be Duncan Allen, Bryson Fletcher and Joseph Black. So Joseph Black's going to have to play some very nice tactics here because just over a second slower than the other two boys in the flying 200. So Duncan Allen leads away from Bryson Fletcher. Joseph Black sitting there at the back. Probably trying to figure out what he's going to do to make up that other 1 second gap. He's got a deficit on these boys in 200 metres. Duncan Allen going around the bottom of the track in his gear shop kit. And Bryson Fletcher's now started stalking him. They're going to play some games, these boys. As I said, they both come along here on Tuesday nights and get a lot of training in. Always good to know the track very well. Bryson Fletcher's opted to take the lead. Boys ride shoulder to shoulder. They're watching each other. He's holding him up. Bryson Fletcher drops down to the sprinters lane. Duncan Allen comes up around the outside as they come into the transition on turn 3. They come out of turn 4. Bryson Fletcher still holding that bit of a gap, and he'll go through and take that with Duncan Allen, and then followed by, through at the end there, by Joseph Black. Heat 3 coming up now. In this one here, we should see Chris Lang, Glenn Searle and Corey Boddington coming up onto the track. Yep, and they're the 3 riders that we have. Chris Lang making his way up onto the track now. Just waiting on Corey Boddington to come up to the track now. And these guys be ready for a start.
You like those nice? I do enjoy it.
Chris Lang leads the riders away. Glenn Searle there in the middle. And Corey Boddington bringing up the rear. Corey's got a reasonable sort of a top end, has a bit of trouble getting off the mark. The reasons for that. Glenn Searle, very strong competitor. Makes those 36 centimetre handlebars look very, very narrow. As I said earlier, Corey sustained a major injury to a deltoid years ago, so we've been trying to, Jared and the boys have been trying to do some work with him. So Glenn Searle leads away. Chris Lang's... Here comes Corey Boddington now. So once he gets that gear wound up, he can turn on a good turn of speed. Chris Lang's not making any further headway. Glenn Searle's going to ride through and take this one away. Boddington had a very, very quick finish. And as I said, he has a bit of a trouble getting the bike started. But once he gets it going, he can keep it going. I think they are. Our next three riders for the next event. We've got Sebastian Topping on the bottom of the track. Ben Clayton is in the middle. And Peter Macris at the top of the track. What they're doing over there? See knowing the centre field, see what they're doing? See what they're doing? What are they doing? No, to make sure it's the right size. I'm not gearing this. That's a roll out. You talk about 88 inches and 90 inches and that. Well, that inches comes from one full pedal revolution of your bike. And you've got different gearings for under 15s, under 17s, under 19s. Okay, Clayton's leading them through this time. Peter Mack was sitting up the top. Sebastian Topping quite happy just to roll along and watch the other two boys play. Macros wants to pick the pace up a little bit, didn't like being stuck up the top. Clayton's following, Sebastian Topping getting right on that wheel. He wants to get sucked along here. Peter Macros has taken off now when the bell goes. He's got the power down. He's maintaining that gap to Ben Clayton, but here he comes now. Clayton's in the slipstream. It's one thing to get to the rider, it's another thing to get round them. So as they come around there now, as you can see, Clayton's come out, but just didn't quite get there. Peter Macris takes that one out. Ben Clayton was in second place, and third rider over the line was Sebastian Topping. I think Sebastian Topping's a junior, actually. So we have four riders in the next heat. Ella Liang is in here having a bit of a hit out. Chris Mullins, Josh Rayner from the Cairns Cycling Club, and Ebony Garintu. Yeah. Who's the rider that's late to the line, Ben? There? Four riders in this next heat make their way to the line in a moment. So we have Ella on the bottom of the track. Chris Mullins, next rider on the track. Then Josh Rayner in his Totally Workwear kit. Totally Workwear in Cairns must do a bit. I've seen a few riders over the past 12 months wearing their kit, so they must be doing some sponsorship up there. Ebony riding at the back, just watching what's happening. Ella on the bottom of the track, Josh Rayner sitting just up the top of that. Everyone just watching each other at the moment. Get the call of 2 to go. Josh Rayner up high, taking a bit of ground and taking the lead, followed through by Ebony. Chris Mullins is sitting there at the back of the field. Probably had the quickest 200 out of the riders out there that did the 200. Come through this time to get the bell. Rayner's taken off. Mullins is going to chase that wheel down. Mullins is chasing, but here comes Ebony up around the outside as well, so I don't know. Rayner should be able to hang on from here. Ella's having a bit of a kick back down the bottom, and Chris Mullins will take out second place, and Ebony in third place. That was a nice quick little hit out for them. The last 200 in 11.94. Not a bad pace at all. With 3 riders in the next heat, we should have Matilda Pratt, Flynn Larkins and Michael Templeton. Pardon? Matilda Pratt to lead these riders out. Made a comment about the 200s and that, and he said, looking at 200s at the moment, taking notes. Okay. Come through to get the bell that time around. We've got Flynn Larkins has hit the front, leading them out. Matilda Pratt sitting there, and then Michael Templeton comes around the outside. Bigger gear, of course, in the junior riders. See what happens, see if Pratt can get around Larkins. Looks like she will. Matilda's flying up there, and she'll take out some... First and second go to Bundaberg. As the thing with some of these events, the junior riders, of course, all using their restricted gearings for their age division, all their relevant age divisions. The commissaire, Mr. Tony Tor, is over there actually checking some of the gearings on the junior bikes at the moment. And the dimensions, just to make sure they're all legal and within the range. Okay, they roll away now for heat 7. Kiana Templeton leading them out. George Tucker going up nice and high, riding through to the front. He's going to start going a little bit early. Victoria Smith doesn't like that idea, so she's going to jump straight across onto the wheel. Kiana then follows through. Tucker still stays at the front. Still got 2 to go. It's 500 metres left to travel, so don't spend all your pennies just yet. You've got to be able to bring it home. Pace has backed off a bit now. Now Victoria Smith decided she'll have a go. She'll come around this time to get the bell. She's put a bit of a gap onto Tucker. Templeton decides that she's going to have to go around. So she's made it to the top, but once again you've got to get around, and doing it on the bend is the long way round, because you've got to travel faster than the bottom rider even just to maintain the pace. Coming around now as they come into the finish line, you'll find that Victoria Smith will take this one out. And let's see what happens in the last 50 metres. Tucker has a quick look and digs. So Tucker will take out second, and Kiana Templeton will hold on for third place. Good training for all these juniors to get in and do some of these things. Don't often get much of a chance to do match racing. Underway now for the last of this series, last heat in this series of sprints. William Holzberger on the bottom of the track. Taman Choi is the next rider up. And then we have Scott Slade. Riders are rolling away now. Scott Slade going up high on the track. The other rider's just watching him. I'm not sure what's going to happen. Holzberger decided that he'll swing up and meet him. Taman Choi just following Holzberger's wheel at the moment. Decides that he's going to swing through to the front and have a look, which means Holzberger's got to watch forward and aft. Slade winds up a bit now. He knows he's got the big gear here. Has a bit of a look down the track, puts the gap there. Choi sitting right on Holzberger's wheel. I'll come around this time to receive the bell. Slade still maintaining that gap. Let's see if he can keep it going. Holzberger's closing the gap now. Choi still sitting on. Holzberger's closing that gap. He'll be able to get to the back wheel of Slade, but will he be able to go around him? Scott Slade seems to have dug a little bit again, and he'll go through and maintain his lead there and take that one out, with William Holzberger in second and Taman Choi rounding it up for third place. The next event on our program is our Elimination Championship, the State Elimination Championship for under 15 women. So rider out every second lap. Which means it's easier than it used to be. We used to be rider out every lap on the 333 outdoor velodromes. Here you've got 500 metres between riders going out, so you get a little bit of time for recovery. The starter giving them their final instructions before he sends them on their way. Well, actually, the clerk. Okay, they come through and get the whistle. Ava Carmen Robbins quite happy to lead out, sit there on the front with them. Riders moving around quickly now. Okay, so next time around, a rider will be eliminated. Isabel Potts is on the front. So they've got to watch it now as they come around. The rider on the bottom of the track isn't in a very good position, but may be able to squeeze through. Don't think so. It'll be, by my calculations, it'll be Grace Hunter. I'm not looking straight across the line from my position up here, but pretty close to it. So no rider out this lap, but they'll get the bell. There'll be a rider out the next lap. Now there'll be a bit of a struggle. April Patty sitting at the back of the bunch. She's moved up underneath, but somewhere there's not always so anywhere to go there if the other riders accelerate, which can happen when you come around that bend. Yes, it'll be April Patty on my reckoning that will come out that time. Okay, there. Get the bell again. Isabel Potts at the back of the bunch, not looking good for her. The other riders are moving forward. She'll have to find somewhere to go and find it very quickly. They're coming and hammering for the line then, but didn't quite make it. So my reckoning will be Isabel Potts will be out that time around. Okay, so no elimination this time, but still 3 riders remaining. They get the bell. Neve Parslow leads them through. Carmen Robbins is riding through. They're bringing the riders through at the front. It's going to be a bit of battle for the riders at the back. Or the rider number 2 will eliminated. She improved the position on the blue. I think you'll find the call will come from the commissaire. Not allowed to do that. It shouldn't be down on the blue unless it's a safety issue. So we've got 2 remaining riders. They get the bell. Chloe Buckley jumps out of the saddle there. She's quickly put a gap into Robin. So yeah, the head goes down. That's enough. So Chloe Buckley will come through and take this one out. There we go. Oh, sorry, that was Sienna Monteith there. Wrong pink helmet. I've got one of them. You should not be eating chocolate. Pardon?
I was going to do a cup of tea and have a hot cross bun tonight, but I'll have some fishes.
Okay, the next event coming up onto the track now will be the Queensland Elimination Championships for the under 15 men. This will get interesting. Hope First Aid standing by. Can't even see First Aid. Oh right, I haven't seen there, yeah. open mine. I'll have to wait for a break to hit it. Okay, the riders have received the whistle to indicate the start of the event. They'll all come rolling around this time, so no rider out on the first lap. Tucker sitting at the front, trying to put himself in a safe position. Bodie Dosher sitting there in a good spot. Now the riders will come around now, and this gets a bit hairy in elimination. Riders are trying to go forward, and there's nowhere to go. And the rider sitting at the back in this case, it looks like it could be Oscar Schoff that could be out. Yes. As I say, I don't look straight down the line from my position here in the box. It's a bit of a parallax, but I can get it most of the time. Tucker's still sitting on the front, quite happy to sit there and roll around. Oliver Jordan sitting on the wheel there. Second wheel's a good spot in one of these things. You can watch what's happening behind you and still not having to do a lot of work and just drift up a bit every now and then when the other riders start coming around. Looks like Flynn Larkins has got to try and make it around the hard way. Didn't quite get there. It's hard to keep doing that from the back all the time if you've got to keep sprinting forwards. The riders at the front have much more of an even tempo. Cruise along. The riders will come around this time now and get a bell for another lap with Tucker still sitting at the front. Harrison Dowling looks like he's in a little bit of trouble there at the back. He's trying to get up, work his way around the bunch. He's got a long way to travel that high up the track. It's a lot further distance around. He's having another kick now. Let's see if he can get in. He's trying very, very hard, but he won't make it. That'll be number 22, Harrison Dowling will be out that time around. That's Sharon. I think so. They come around now, they'll get the bell for another one to go. We've got Eli Taylor sitting at the back there. He'll have to figure out what he wants to do between now and the finish line. He's going to try and go around the outsiders. All the riders going out around Tucker now. But Tucker kicks again. He's holding that position on the front. It's a good place to be. There's a bit of a battle here between the three riders here at the back. And it's Eli Taylor. Didn't quite manage to close that gap far enough. Because when you're coming around the bends, the further up the track you are, the further the distance you have to travel. Now Tucker's done a good job riding at the front of this one. He's been on the front for the whole lot. They come through now and get the bell again, and let's see what's going to happen this time. Bodie Dusher is going to have to work his way. I thought that's what he'd do. He'd back off and then come right around the outside. Let's put Josh Franks in a bit of a bother there at the back. Now they're coming in underneath. Tucker's still holding on. Dusher's... Oh, it's a bit hectic, but he managed to get there. I'd say it's Josh Franks would be out for that one. Tucker's still sitting on the front. That's a good bit of endurance from that rider. Now they get the bell this time to see if they can still do it. See if Bodie Dusher's got the ability to go around to the outside again. No moves coming yet. Tucker still leading him through. Jordan coming around the outside. Bodie Dusher's having a bit of a dig now. Let's see what happens here. Oh, I'd say he held in there. No. I would have said Tucker was in, but I couldn't quite see. So that George is out now. So Emmanuel's has kicked now. Dusher's got nothing left. He's got no legs left. He spent too many times coming around the outside. Emmanuel's had a good ride sitting on Tucker's wheel most of that event. seen him get it wrong down there before. Under 17 women. Our next event on the track now will be our Queensland Elimination Championships for our under 17 women. And same thing goes again, rider out every second lap. Riders making their way around now to the start line where they shall get the whistle to commence their race. Kiana Templeton leading him through that time. Looks like Eden Cunnington sitting there in second wheel. Wish I could see those numbers from here. No, I wish I could. No, I can't see them. I'll get the bell now for their first sprint. First elimination. Victoria Smith at the back at the moment, but that won't last long. There she goes, moving away up around the outside now, making sure she's got a rider down below her. Just cruising through, nothing drastic there. But that will be Matilda Pratt that will be out this time around. Once again, the pace not on real much here at the front. But if you're at the front, you don't have to be. So we've got Ella Yang on the bottom of the track, Megan Moore up outside her, Eden Cunnington moving through there as well. Once again, Victoria Smith's at the back, but she can accelerate around that. She won't have too much trouble getting herself into a better position, as she does. Very quickly jumps into a gap, rolls on through, and that will put Kiana Templeton out of the event. But nice to see all these young women out there racing. Some of these could be our future champions. So give them all the encouragement you can. Victoria Smith down on the inside at the bottom of the track. One number out there I can't read. Is it a girl on at the back? She will be at the back in a minute. Victoria Smith fighting away around the outside again. It's Neve Parslow who's out that time around. See, I've got no number 5 in here. Again. They get the bell for another sprint. Megan Moore sitting at the front there. Emile Sanders working her way around the outside. Eden Cunnington moving up the outside as well. Victoria Smith on the back again. Let's see what she does this time. If she can get around the other riders in front. Oh, that looked like it could be. Yes, on the bottom of the track. Couldn't quite see if it was her or Eden. Okay, there's only 4 riders remaining. Eden Cunnington jumps out of the saddle to try and improve her position. Victoria Smith on the bottom of the track again, so see how she goes about getting out of this one. It might be a little more difficult this time, although Eden's letting a little bit of a gap open up there, so see what happens here. Cunnington sprints around the outside. Has she got the legs to get there? Ooh. So Eden just made it over the line past Victoria Smith. Victoria played too many times down around the bottom of the track and sprinting forward, so it wasn't doing much good. So they'll come around and be one more sprint to go again this time. Megan Moore's taking the lead. Emile Sanders down the bottom of the track. Eden Cunnington at the back trying to find a way around. The other girls have a bit too much of a kick for her. The Eden will come out that time, but that's third. So let's see what happens with the remaining 2 riders. Maybe a little bit of cat and mouse, you never know. Could play tactics. And both riders will come in now to get the bell. Moore's leading them through. Emily Sanders down the bottom at the back. She has a bit of a kick now to see if she can get around Moore. Moore responds. Sanders just got that little bit too much grunt. Moore did do a lot of work at the front of that race though throughout the event. So I give the young ladies a big round of applause. Better now? Here comes the under-17 men's championship elimination, Queensland Championship. Remember, under-17 men can put a set of 40 centimetre handlebars through a 30 centimetre gap, or try to. The main objective of an under-17 rider in eliminations is to scare the living daylights out of their parents. But yes, that's it. Big round of applause. Great riding. We could be looking at our future Australian representative riders out here this afternoon, this evening. Pretty good feel in these under-17 men. Always gets a bit hairy in these eliminations. Remember one year sitting over at the old track and we had 2 of our regular St John Ambulance first aiders there, and they had 2 trainees with them. And then we're all just sitting there chatting, and next minute you see the 2 regular first aiders pull their first aid kits across and start putting gloves on. The other 2 are looking at them and they said, what are you doing? They said, oh, we're kitting up ready. They said, why? He said, oh, they just announced the junior under-17 men's elimination. Oh. Yeah, so first aiders knew what was going on. And we just wait for these riders to get their final instructions and roll around here for a start. Have you? Rubbish. Oh. Jared had an injection with me today.
Oh, did he?
She said Tuesday night it was sore. So now they're rolling around now for their first elimination. I missed half of that. I'm eating a chocolate. So let's see what's happened with the riders on the track. There we go. Big panic to make it through to the finish line. Yeah, 35. Who I thought would have been a good chance of winning this event. Okay, they've got the green flag up, which means no rider out, because Mullins was supposedly still in the bunch, and they got round the other side. Which I was a bit surprised to see him get out. It's just lack of experience, basically. Mitchell Louis in the right spot. He's sitting right there on the front. That's where he wants to stay. Riders are starting to move up and around and about. Now let's see who's going to get caught napping. Tao Choi coming right around the outside. And that possibly Lachlan Walters for that one. Tao Choi playing the dangerous game, sprinting through from the back each time. Well, Henry Goodwill's just been sitting there on the front, punching away since he got there. He's going to stay there. Let's see what the ruling is on this one, how they do this. .28. Let's see how they go. Yes, that Mitchell Louis. He was off the back, but not that far back that he wasn't considered as part of the event. There's Choi sitting right at the back again. Tao joins Samuel Hilditch sitting at the back and wanting to just sprint their way around. There they go. Sprinting their way around to the front there now to past the other riders. And unfortunately for that, that'll be Henry Goodwill, who was sat at the front for a lot of the event. All the riders just went straight past him. Still have 6 riders out there remaining in this event now. They come through to get the bell for another sprint. Tao Choi at the back again, but he'll just wait in his move till he gets closer there. See if he can do this again. Takes a bit of high ground. And here he comes to try and sprint his way around again. Does he make it this time? Yes, he does. He makes it through, and that'll put Zachary Douglas Savage out of the picture. He was in a good spot, but just the other ones managed to get themselves in a more better one. Okay, now here's someone who decided they're not going to wait much longer. They want to hit the front and just keep it going, and that's Ethan Lang's going to hit it out from here and try and pursue it home, but the other riders are closing the gap pretty quickly. You got Choi at the back again. Now they go frying around and see if Hilditch isn't caught in a bad spot down here on the bottom of the track. He's going to work his way up. Ooh, didn't make it that time. Ooh. So the judges have called Hilditch. All the riders now just looking at each other. 4 riders left and only 3 medals. Choi making his way through now, making sure there's a rider behind him. He's going to have to hit it hard though. He's going to have to hit it really hard, and he's done enough to hang on. Alex Hughes out that time around, which is a bit unusual too for Alex. Toby Jones is still there, isn't he? Number 26. So Toby Jones leads them through there now. Ethan Lang sitting on his wheel. Tao Choi sitting at the back of the bunch. Works his way up. Jones still holding it there at the front. No. Didn't have another sprint left, so now it's just down to Lang and Jones to see what's going to happen. They'll come around this time to get the bell. Riders going up and down the track, playing a few little games, which is always fun to see at the end of one of these. Toby Jones leads it through, just looking over his shoulder. Lang jumps out of the saddle to go for it. They go out of turn 2 together. Jones just having a quick look down to see what's happening. Lang still trying to get around. He's holding the same distance. He's dropped back a little bit. There's not much of a chance of kicking anything over there. Jones, quick look over the shoulder and bang, there we go. Thanks for coming. Oh, there's Tao Choi will be happy to know that he's in the next event. As is Mitchell Louis. Maybe that's why Mitchell Louis went out a bit early. Yeah, Tao needn't bother getting off the track. He can just stop there now because I see Josh Rayner's ready to come up. Then we'll move on to our second round of sprints for the evening to see how we go. Excuse. So it looks like the commissaires has made a decision that because the two junior riders have just finished competing in an event, they're going to go to heat 2 of round 2, and there's 2 people in it too. So these boys played a little while ago, although they did have a third rider with them, but Joseph sort of wasn't really as competitive as these guys. So once again, Duncan Allen to lead out, with Bryson Fletcher at the top of the track. Riders come around this time to get 2 to go, rolling up and down the track. Duncan Allen at the front looking over the shoulder, Bryson Fletcher going up to the top, Allen going up with him. Fletcher does the old up, down, up quick. Getting Allen looking all over the place so he can make a run at him, and there it goes now. Fletcher goes in underneath. Allen has to go high. Bryson Fletcher now drops down. He's looking to see where he is. He's hasn't completely committed yet. He'll have to go now because Duncan's going to have a bit of a hit at him, and here he comes. Fletcher opens up and, yeah, he holds on. Nice to watch a little bit of match racing. Yeah, I didn't think it was Sam. Okay, our next three riders being on the track there now is Christopher Mullins. Oh, no, it's not. It's Corey Boddington. So Christopher Mullins is not in that. He's just completed. So we've got Corey Boddington out there now leading them out. Chris Lang behind him. And then the red dog, Scott Slade. Corey's still sitting there at the front in the middle of the track. Now remember, Corey will probably try to take it long because he has trouble with acceleration. But once he gets his speed up, he has a good top-end speed. And as you can see, they've already distanced Scott Slade. And he's coming in to get the bell now, and Lang is just holding the wheel. You can see him fiddling around on his bike, trying to get a little bit extra out of it. Corey Boddington still holding on down the back as they come into the turn 3. Lang goes up around the outside. Can't go anywhere, though. So Corey Boddington will go through and take that one out. Chris Lang second, and Scott Slade a commendable third place. So as you can see by that, 11.51 for the 200. That's a pretty good time. And this, as I said earlier, Boddington has a good top-end speed. He just has a bit of trouble getting it off the mark due to that injury he sustained racing, I think it was in motocross. Okay, now in Heat 4 we have Ben Clayton on the bottom of the track, followed by Peter Macris and Molly McGill up at the top. Should be a bit of a good battle, this one. Clayton rolls away, Macris goes down onto the wheel, Molly McGill's just rolling up behind Peter as they start their 750 metre journey. I think it's 3 laps or 4 laps. Nothing's much changed out there, just a bit more of a gap between the riders. Macris looking forward and back and forward and aft and all the other places in between. Riders all still rolling around down the bottom of the track. McGill in a good spot there at the back. She can hold on to Peter. Ben Clayton's decided to drop down and start the sprint early. Gets a bit of height. Molly McGill goes up high too. She's not too sure where to go. Which one of these blokes is going to go where? So she's just going to go around the outside. That's a good spot. There's no one there. I'll go to the front. That's a good place for me. Just see, can she do it here now as they come up there? Oh, yes. Molly McGill, Peter Macris and Ben Clayton. That was a good ride. Nothing untoward up there, but Ben was watching Macris. Molly went to go around and then there was nowhere there to go. So, but it's a good ride by Molly. Yes, unfortunate for Pete. Too much lamb. What have we got here? So we've got, this is the riders from Heat 1 out on the track now. Mitchell Louis down the bottom, Teo Choi in the middle, and Josh Rayner up the top. And once again, I'll mention it, sponsored by Totally Workwear. If he's not sponsored by Totally Workwear, he's stolen someone's skin suit. The two juniors sitting down the bottom and Josh Rayner up the top. The two juniors are very, very quick. Josh Rayner has a big gear. Mitchell Louis sitting at the front of the three riders, just looking back over that shoulder. Still got 2 laps to go. Long way from home, full tilt. Mitchell Louis just keeping an eye on Josh Rayner. He doesn't want to let him get away. So Rayner's winding it up now, knowing he has the big gear advantage. Mitchell Louis holding him out on the, coming through on the bottom of the track. Now there goes the bell, and look at the leg speed of Mitchell Louis. Pick up now. Tao Choi still sitting on there at the back. Josh Rayner's got to wind that big gear up now if he wants to go. You can see him pumping it, trying to get it to go harder, but he's going nowhere fast. He's not going to get there. Mitchell Louis' legs are really pumping. He's brought that gear home over the line, followed through by Josh Rayner and then Teo Choi. What? Yeah. They're both juniors. They both just rode in the under 17. Didn't Teo and Mitchell Louis, they both rode in the under 17. I think. No, he's a Masters.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
So we've got Joseph Black sitting on the line here. He's waiting for Glenn Searle to come up. Who's the other rider? 35. Chris Mullins. We've moved some of these around. Okay, so there we go. Joseph Black leads them away. Glenn Searle there and Christopher Mullins at the back of this group. We've started on their journey. Riders all just rolling around now at an even pace. Glenn Searle once again getting up nice and high, very, very strong once he gets that gear wound up. Young Chris wants to get closer to the wheel than that because once there he goes. Once Searle gets that big gear wound up, he'll just keep pumping it hard. Joseph Black's holding it at the moment. Searle's coming up to his back wheel. He'll pop out of that lane now. There he goes. He's going to try and go around him. Mullins is following him. If Glenn Searle keeps going forward, Chris Mullins will follow him through. I don't know that he's going to get there this time, though. No, Joseph Black's going to hold on to take that one out, and Glenn Searle second, and Christopher Mullins bringing home third place. We move on now to Heat 6. Okay, the riders are away. Got Ebony sitting up at the top of the track. Ella down below her there, and Sebastian Topping sitting at the back, watching what the two women are doing. They're just watching each other at the moment. Ebony takes the lead. She's on the top. Ella quickly moves up onto the wheel. Sebastian Topping still sitting there at the back, just watching what's going to happen. Ella now comes up underneath Ebony. Pace coming on a little bit now as they're coming into turn 3. Sebastian Topping drops down to take off from here. Ella Liang follows. Ebony coming up around the outside. Let's see what happens down the back straight. Sebastian Topping goes. Ella Liang goes. Ebony comes right around the outside. Ella still trying to find a way past Sebastian. Will she get there? Yes, she did. So that one was taken out by Ebony Gurinchu, about as close as I can get, and Sebastian Topping in 3rd place. So yes, Ella made a way far enough forward that time. Unless you want to go when you finish.
We've got time to finish. See what it is. If you go, you'll only have probably 35 minutes or half an hour because I'll finish it on 34. You won't go back on till 10.
See this? Riders to go straight to the line. No waiting on fence to be pushed. They all sit on the fence and wait to be pushed. Okay, 4 riders out here for this event. Matilda Pratt sitting down the bottom. Victoria Smith there. George Tucker. And up at the top of the track we have Michael Templeton. All out of town riders, 2 from Rocky and 2 from Bundy. So Pratt leads them away. George Tucker follows the wheel there. Smith still sitting in 3rd place and Templeton bringing up the rear. George Tucker leads them through this time around. Pratt on his wheel. Then Victoria Smith working her way through. Templeton swings up, goes around the outside. Smith swings up and goes onto his wheel, knowing that he's got the big gears. She wants to get sucked along. Okay, Tucker decides he's going to go for it. With 315 to go. Victoria Smith goes around the outside of him. Templeton's got the bigger gear. He'll go charging around the outside. As he's coming over the top of Tucker, Victoria Smith is still just holding it. Tucker's going to get to the wheel and have nowhere to go. Templeton goes around the outside of Victoria Smith. Young Pratt coming around again as well. Tucker's running out of legs down the bottom. Michael Templeton goes through and takes that out and can be followed through by Pratt and then Victoria Smith. So good ride by Matilda Pratt. She looked like she was out of it over the back, but she didn't give in. She kept going and rolled through to take out a 2nd place. This is the 2nd round of sprints that we've been through tonight. This is the final heat for this round, heat 8. And there's only 2 riders I've seen so far that have actually read the rules. Looking at it here, it says riders go straight to line, no waiting on the fence to be pushed up. And I've only seen 2 riders go to the line. Amazing, isn't it? So down the bottom of the track this time we have Kiana Templeton, followed then by Flynn Larkins, William Holzberger, and Taman Choi at the rear of the field. Flynn Larkins goes up high on the track. Holzberger follows him up and Choi swings up as well. Kiana down on the bottom of the track. She decides she'll try and keep up with these other riders. Choi goes to the front, picks the pace up a bit. Flynn Larkin's riding out the outside, wants to maintain that pace, doesn't want to get left behind. Holzberger down the bottom of the track, he goes through. Larkins was going to go there, but the gap wasn't there anymore, so Holzberger takes off. Larkins on his wheel. Tara Choi at the back. Kiana Templeton out of it at this stage. So Holzberger still leading him through, followed by Larkins and then by Choi. They come out of the turn 4, and that's the way they'll go over the line. Holzberger will take that out. Flynn Larkins will be second. Taman Choi third place, and Kiana Templeton will round the finishes off for fourth place. Moving along in our program now, we have a progressive points race, 12 lapper. So we see how all that goes. Bless you. Bless you. Okay, the riders have rolled out from the other side. I'll come around this time and get their whistle to start. All going well. I thought, gee, that's hard to read. And I thought, oh, I haven't got my glasses on. Still hard to read. Okay, so there goes the whistle. Progressive points race. Some of the riders don't worry too much about the early points, but Lachlan Waller's decided as he wants them. Nick Banks is just quite happy just to sit there and watch him go. Because the way the points work is the points are awarded each time you go across the line, and the further you get into the race, the more the points are worth. For example, they go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So you can win the first 3 lots of points, and still only gives you 6. Whoop, Bernard Swart, Madara turn, he swings up. So there we go. Noel Blennon back on the front again, and he won't mind sitting there hammering along. He likes to do this sort of thing. And he'll keep it going for as long as he can. Toby Jones on his wheel. Nick Bank Watson is next. If they don't move along a bit, they won't bring these riders back, and you can see the field is shattering in the back behind them. So they go through that time. Blennon still taking points. He swings up now for a bit of a break, hands it over to Toby Jones. Banks Watson still sitting there on the second wheel. Decided now he's going to have a crack for a point, and that's the one he wanted. So Jarlath Whittaker's gone. He's going to try and chase him down. No, he's not. Noel Blennon is, and Whittaker will try and jump on his wheel. Didn't quite make it, so Banks Watson's will just ride tempo. Blennon will try and get across. Jarlath Whittaker's looking around for help. Drops down onto the back of Jones's wheel. These two guys might work together to see if they can bring them back, but with only 4 laps remaining. So Nick's looking around. He's getting a bit tired. He'll watch Blennon come. So Blennon's made it up to him, but he's going to go straight round. I thought Nick might have jumped on his wheel, but I don't think he's able to, otherwise he would have done. So Blennon now comes across a lot of traffic. He's got to fight his way around the traffic. He's overtaken half the field. Watson quite happy just to roll along at the moment. Blennon came in to get the bell. See, they have the thing now, they only ring the bell once, so if you're down the back a bit but still in the placings, you may or may not hear it. So Blennon will come through this time, and I'd say he would have enough points to get the race. Yes, there we go. Noel Blennon 36. Nick Bank Watson on 24. And Lachlan Walters, who, like I said, took out the first 3 laps with 6 points. So the other ones will just get a thanks for coming. So you turn the air conditioning off and now it's hot.
Yeah, I just thought we were off the floor last night. Just drank all my whole container of water in one go, but I wasn't interested. But maybe some of that sushi might have been salty. Sometimes it comes back and goes coffee. Yeah, I just
Very good look.
I just suddenly went, oh, I don't know what's wrong with me.
Oh, where do I start?
I to walk home.
I can get a lift. They won't. Okay, now moving on to event 19 of this evening's program, which will have another progressive points race. There's a few people in here who like to get away, go out on their own.
Oh no, it's okay. Thank you.
You want to switch it on for a bit?
No, I'm okay. But
What about me?
But if you're hot, I was going to say, if you're
Yeah.
hot,
Which one?
the bottom one I think.
Just cool it down for a little bit, so it's slide. Okay, riders receiving their final instructions over there in the back straight. Peter Spencer only competed in that first race, he didn't finish it. I think he's gone back out since. And that's his biking down there. Okay, they roll through this time now. Jay Doraboom's on the front, and he'll probably try and stay there for the whole event. But there's a few riders in there that might want to mix it up a bit with him. I see Madison Taylor's missing from the field out there. Yeah, Eliza Carnes would like to be able to get out and have a bit of a hit out of some of these things. She's about halfway down the field there now, just watching what's happening in front. Matthew Wynn's on her wheel. Graham Ward sitting there in the middle of the bunch. Tim Matthews rolling around. All these riders will all want to get in amongst it once they start fighting for things. Kyle Willis went through for a short turn, swung up. Doesn't want to do too much, saving his pennies. Okay, here we go. Kyle just has a quick look over his shoulder to see what's happening. He wants that. No, it wasn't. It was Thomas Loadsman on the front there now. Got the points for that one. Now's when the fight will start getting really serious because the each lap's worth a few more. So Kyle Willis will take that one. See Doraboom sitting there in fourth wheel. Matthews has 2 bikes back behind him. See what they do. So Smith rolls through, swings up, and he's going to the back. That's enough for him. Doesn't want to play at the front anymore. Loadsman coming through again. So that's Thomas Loadsman getting points there for that one. Willis at the front. Now here comes Boom. I did say earlier that he'd wait till he got a bit later in the track. He's taken that one. He'll just keep going. Let's see if any other riders can go with him. They're going to try. But Jay Boom will keep going. Graham Ward's having a big hit out in the main pack there, trying to get right across to these riders way out in front. Alexander Gilfunder got onto the back of Boom's wheel. Let's see if any of the other riders can slowly get up there. Graham Ward's getting across that gap quite efficiently. Boom still leading it out, still gaining points. Loadsman struggling now to get back up to that wheel. Graham Ward's spent all the pennies he had in his tin, so he's swinging up. Willis just making it back onto that bunch there now. Jay Boom swings up. He might want to have a rest his legs for a bit. They've still got the call of 2 to go, so you've got this one. One last sprint, 10 points up on the last one. So here we go. Loadsman is holding on. See if he can hold on to take out this last one. Yes, just managed to hold in there and keep Willis off. So it'll be interesting to see the final points there. We have Jay Boom. I think it had 34. Just wait for that score to come up again. Yeah, Jay Boom 34. Thomas Loadsman on 21, and in third place will be Kyle Willis on 6. Okay, here we go now. We got a Hare and Hounds progressive points. We won't even try and figure this one out, ladies and gentlemen. We just let them go out there and have fun. Pardon? Oh, yeah. He probably would have added them up while he was riding. Oh, it's that one. Oh, right, yeah. Is that good or bad? Is it? I take you to all the flash places too. Okay, so I know how our Hare and Hounds work. But with the progressive points, I assume it's just like a standard progressive points. And looks like we've got a lot more hares than hounds. So we got 8 hounds over the back. And how many hares have we got down the front here? How many riders there? So we have 12 riders starting in the front straight, 8 riders starting in the back straight. Looks like all the riders are ready. There's a signal. Now, away they go. Let's see what's going to happen here. So, April Patty leads them away on this side. Oops. Holzberger missed the start a bit there, so there's a bit of a gap there. Now, remember, Sharon McQuiggan is leading through the hares. Now, these hounds have to work together to try and chase the bunch in front of them. Oh, a bit of a gap opened up there. That's not good. So, well, at the moment, we've got the hares catching the hounds. So let's see what happens here. Pratt going through for a turn on the front now. They'll be followed through then by Adrian Topping going through for his turn at the front. We've got two riders off the back of the hounds. All the hares are still together. Bit of a mix-up here at the back with the hounds. There's riders all over the shop at the back of the bunch. Gratian Punch left a bit of a gap there, which might be filled now by Steve Mayman when he drops in. No, he's swinging up out of the road. Godfrey will have to bridge that gap up there. Pratt's off the back a bit. Adrian Topping's out of it altogether. So one of the hounds is dog gone. Mayman's hit the front now. He'll try and pick the pace up, but he just got to be careful he doesn't split the bunch up too much. Sean Crossman's managed to stay on the wheel, followed through then by Godfrey. Pratt's still in there. Sharon McQuiggan still holding on down there at the back. Led through this time by Godfrey. Steve Mayman on his wheel, then Pratt. Followed through by Tony Redwood and Sharon McGuigan still there at the back. They've gained a little bit on the hares. Not a lot, but there's a bit of a gap there opening up now. So the hounds have to watch out. McGuigan's off the back now. The hounds are slowly catching the back of the hares. So just watch out as they go around these juniors here. Let them know they're coming. 5 laps remaining. They're getting up to the back of the bunch now. The main bunch of the hares still out in front. Ava Carmen Robbins goes to the front, swings up. They're trying to get the bunch moving again. Okay, Pratt comes through now and hooks onto the back of them, followed through by Godfrey, Steve Mayman, and Redwood up at the top of the track. So let's see what happens now, see if they keep going. Some of the hares have had a bit of a hit out. They don't want to be caught. Chloe Buckley swings up there and hands it over to April Patty. Now you see the hounds moving their way through the bunch. Pratt's coming around through to the front now. Steve Mayman's coming through onto the bottom. Then followed through at the top there by Wayne Godfrey. Crossman moving his way through there onto the wheel of Mayman. So you got Pratt, Mayman, Crossman. Godfrey still sitting in there as well. Redwood up the top of the track trying to find his way around as they come in and get the call of 2 to... Oh, they're getting the bell this time around. So there we go. Mayman takes off. Followed through then by Crossman. Let's see if one of the juniors is going there as well. Got Redwood up the top of the track. And you've got Pratt coming through as well. So they've got the bigger gears too, remember. They'll come around this time as they come up over the finish line. It'll be taken out by Mayman. Then you have Crossman. Tony Redwood was sitting up there at the top of the track, took out the first 3 places, but very well done. A lot of the juniors were still in there contesting that sprint. That was good to see. Moving right along now to event 21, which is round 3 of our sprint series. See how we all go with this one. Doesn't look like any of the first 3 riders were in the last event, so it probably should come up as per... Yes, it does. I can see Josh Rayner making his way up onto the track. Peter Macra standing down there, bike in hand. That is your bike you got in your hand, isn't it, Pete? Yeah. You chewing your fingernails? Weren't you? You know there's more germs and bacteria on your fingernails what there is on a toilet seat? But it doesn't matter, it won't kill you.
Not mine, because I just washed my hands.
See this one? See that nut? See how the white's going further and further back? You can look it up and better than I. See the fat spot in that one? It's always open, isn't it? But if it grows further out, it still goes the same. Okay, we're just moving into heat 1 of round 3, the sprint round number 3, which is event 21 on the program. Tao Choi down the bottom of the track, Josh Rayner in the middle, and Pete Macris up the top. This could get interesting. All three riders ride in a different manner. I'm sure Choi would like to leave the sprint as late as possible. Macris likes to go for about just over a lap to go. Rayner's much similar. Because Tao Choi, of course, being on the junior gearing, has quicker acceleration than the other guys. And then once they get their big gears wound up, his little legs are really spinning to hang on to him, although he can do it. Yep, there he goes. Oh, Macris is not even going to contest. So as I said, there goes Josh Rayner. He likes to go from a fair way out. Choi sitting on the wheel. He's holding the wheel okay. As you can see, if you have a quick look, you can see the difference in leg speed between the two riders. Choi jumps out of the saddle now to go around. Rayner kicks again. He's holding him up high. Can Choi hold him? Yes, he can. He can hold the transition. Comes out and takes that one out. Good ride by the young junior there. Moving on to heat 2. Joseph Black, Duncan Allen and Bryson Fletcher. It'll be 9:30 but not finish. So what do you reckon? What do you do?
Only finishing the lead, like around the 10.
Okay, Joseph Black leads them out, as his obligation under the rules. Usually in match racing, sprint racing, you draw to see what line they are. Here it's in the program, so they go by what's in there, and they do get mixed around a bit. So Duncan Allen wanted to take the lead. He's moved to the front. Black follows his wheel. Fletcher swings right up to the top of the track, so it gives him the advantage. If anything happens at the front, he's got to run off the bank. Accelerating into the transition area. Joseph Black's on his own because the other two guys are watching each other, knowing that they have a full second advantage over Black on 200s, and there they go. They go past Black. Bryson Fletcher's taking it out this time. Duncan Allen's going to try and chase him down. He's moved up onto the back wheel of Fletcher, and that's not enough, though. If he wants to get round him, he'll have to accelerate very quickly, and I don't think Duncan quite has it there. No, oh, he was coming quick. He was coming quick, but Bryson Fletcher held on to take that one out, in my opinion. Moving on to Heat 3, we've got Chris Lang, Corey Boddington and Scott Slade. Well, I can't see Chris Lang down there at all. Has he? Oh, I've just been informed that Chris Lang packed all his toys up and went home. You might have an early start in the morning. Oh, so have I. Oh, well. So we just have Scott and Corey playing at this moment. Same helmets, same brand of helmets again. So Corey Boddington to lead this one out. As I said before, he'll start the sprint early to allow him to wind his gear right up. Can you make another coffee? What's that? That's all right. That's all right. This is about mine. Maybe I'll have a cup of tea. Have you? I'll have one up with this. See how I go. Okay, Slade down the bottom of the track, looking up to see what Boddington's going to do. Now, Corey will probably hit out about now. No, he's going to leave it a little bit longer. I thought he'd go at about 1.5 to go. So there goes Scott Slade. Corey looks reasonably comfortable sitting there behind him. He probably picked that he could back himself against Scott. So we'll go to the back straight. Coming up around the outside of Scott Slade, Corey Boddington goes past him and quite easily rolls through to take this one out. So that one will go to Corey Boddington, followed then by Scott Slade. Oh, it was only Greg's, wasn't it? Yeah, I'll have a cup of tea. If you don't mind. Do you want it? Getting ready for our next couple of riders to come up on the track. So we've got Ben Clayton and Molly McGill there. Can't see Mitchell Louis at the moment. I'd say he might be scratching. So Ben Clayton on the bottom of the track, Molly McGill on the top of the track. This should be a pretty good match race between this pair. Just rolling down the back straight on the duckboard. Clayton slowly works his way up now. Thank you. Ben Clayton drops down to the bottom. Molly McGill follows him down. She's just going to watch him. Ben Clayton now working his way up to the top of the track. McGill follows. Molly McGill now has gone to the front. She's going to try and take control of this. Keep Ben Clayton right up on the fence. Although the rules have it these days that you must give the rider room to ride. Molly McGill's dropped down now to start the final lap. Quick look over the shoulder to see where Ben Clayton is. Ben's holding that gap there, but let's see, can he close it? Molly McGill still holding the gap. Ben Clayton slowly comes up in the back straight. But as I said, it's one thing to get to the wheel, it's another thing to go around it. Ben Clayton has a bit of a look to come around the outside, but he hasn't got the extra speed to get there. Molly McGill goes on to hold that one and goes through for a win. Yes, when you're trying to overtake on the bends, as I said before, the rider on the black line is travelling slower than the rider on the red line, even they're holding pace with each other. Because it being an arc, of course, the further out the arc, the greater the distance you have to travel to stay level. So we've got Ollie Eng down here on the start gate at the moment. Christopher Mullins comes up. I just call him Chris. And Glenn Searle at the top of the track. If any of you have a program, you might see that in your program, Saddlecloth 57 was for Gerard O'Connell, but he's informed me he has a bit of a sore knee. So he opted to give it a bit of a spell. But he is watching. Or so my texts tell me. Ella Liang at the bottom of the track. Glenn Searle now takes the lead. Ella gets on the wheel. She reckons she knows the speed of Glenn Searle, but she reckons she can get in that slipstream and hang there. And Mullins is probably thinking the same thing. Not much movement happening yet. Come around still, 375 metres to travel. Ella just sitting above Glenn. Now he starts to pick it up. Chris Mullins is going to try and match him. Mullins takes it down into the duck lane. Oh! Okay, so Ella had to let him in there, sort of, but Glenn's gone up high. Whether he's going to attack from there, I don't know. I think he balked himself a little bit, but he's going to come around the outside now. He should have the strength to roll over the top. Yes, he does. And good finish by all three riders. Only 2 events to go. Wouldn't be shocking to be walking the club at 9 at 20 past 9 and signed in and then won the 9:30 draw. Okay, here we go again. Victoria Smith on the bottom of the track. Sebastian Topping in the centre. And Ebony making the third rider. Held down there by John Andrews, QAS coach. Might be along here tonight to watch a few of his people and their tactics in the sprinting. He comes a couple of Tuesday nights. He's actually supposed to be a sprint coach. The bloke in the black shirt there. John Edwards. Okay, come around this time, being led through by Ebony. Very low pose, as is Victoria Smith. Sebastian just sitting up there on his bike, watching what's happening. There goes Smith. She's going very, very early. Toppy's going to chase it down. Now, Ebony does have a good turn of speed, so we'll see what she's going to do, what her tactics will be here. Victoria Smith putting in as much as she can. Okay, now Ebony's out of the saddle. Still very low profile there. They're going to bring Victoria Smith back into the folds very, very quickly. Now Ebony accelerates again. She's going to ride away, dominate this event. To see if Topping can get over Victoria Smith. She's going to kick again. And good effort by Victoria Smith in that field. I will find out before tomorrow night how to pronounce Ebony's surname. Now, Pete, put your shirt back on. Okay, this is our last, I was going to say last event, but it's not, it's our last race. We still have the our championship elimination medals to be presented. See, here we are, we're coming through on the track now. We've got Matilda Pratt down the bottom, Kiana Templeton up next, Flynn Larkin second from the top, and then Michael Templeton right at the top of the track. There they go on their 750 metre journey. They've just rolled out the way they've started. Okay, a bit chasing around over there. Flynn Larkin swinging up to the top of the track, putting a bit of a gap there. Templeton fair way off the back, but he's got big gears to play with. Matilda Pratt down the bottom of the track looking around to see what's happening. Flynn Larkins goes up the top. And two girls are just watching each other. Michael Templeton a long way back, but like I said, he's got the big gear. If he wants to wind that up, he'll catch the juniors. Larkins drops down now. There we go. We go through with the bell. Flynn Larkins now going past Kiana Templeton and Matilda. Matilda's going to fire around. Templeton's starting to wind this big gear up from down the back. Head goes down. He says, come on, legs, let's go. Now, here we go. Good. Going to be a good effort to come through here, but that's a very good ride there. Matilda Pratt took that one out. Michael Templeton would be second, and then we'll have Kiana Templeton third. What is that, father and daughter?
Yeah.
It would be. I wonder who's in relation to Jason. Other good mate might be Jason. He's done marvellous. Got the cycling in that, but he wasn't a cyclist as a footballer, but he got involved in the cycling. He lost nearly half his body weight 3 years ago. Yeah, one. Oh, I suppose. As long as they give me the right printouts this time. They gave me the printouts for this presentation last time. I'm reading out Liz's thing. No, you got it wrong. You got it wrong. Some paperwork they gave me. I'll do this. Want to go to the pub? You want to come down to the presentation?
No, you want me to turn that down and put your hand up?
The music? Yeah.
That's
I haven't worried about it tonight. Just let it go.
It's not.
Presentations will be tomorrow, so we'll see you then.